Hey, Eric here, your daily source for bold and beautiful spoilers, recaps, and news. Let's dive in.
Welcome back to B&B for Phone, your absolute favorite sanctuary for everything bold and the beautiful. Today is a spectacularly dramatic day in the soap world, and we have a jaw-dropping, absolutely explosive scenario to unpack together. Grab your favorite snack, get comfortable, and let's dive right into the magnificent madness that is about to unfold in Los Angeles. Can you believe what is brewing behind the scenes right now? We are looking at a monumental plot twist that is going to shake the very foundation of Forrester Creations and the Cliff House. If you thought the slow-paced plot of recent weeks was dragging, you better buckle up because the writers are about to hit the accelerator. We are talking about a scenario where John Finnegan rushes home in a desperate panic, only to be completely paralyzed by the shock of his life. Yes, you heard that right. We are diving deep into the explosive theory that Finn is going to catch his wife, Steffy Forrester, in bed with none other than Carter Walton. Amazing. That's crazy. But when you peel back the layers of these characters, it actually makes a terrifying amount of sense. Let's be completely honest with ourselves here. We all know that Steffy's marriage to Finn has been hanging by a microscopic thread. For months, we at B&B for Phone have been watching Steffy slowly lose her mind over the looming, toxic shadow of Sheila Carter. Steffy has reached her absolute psychological breaking point. This is a woman who was brutally shot in a dark alley by her own mother-in-law, a woman who watched her husband bleed out, a woman who has begged, pleaded, and demanded that Finn cut Sheila out of their lives forever. And what does Finn do? He negotiates with his abuser. He sits on a plane to Monaco and tries to make secret deals with the devil herself. Steffy currently has a million important things on her mind, from Forrester's European expansion to the safety of her children, but the realization that her husband will never truly protect her from Sheila has completely shattered her. She genuinely believes her marriage is completely and utterly over. The trust is dead, and you won't believe what happens next. Because Steffy isn't the only one drowning in a sea of emotional agony. Enter Carter Walton. Poor, sweet, eternally heartbroken Carter. I have such a love-hate relationship with how the writers treat Carter. I love the man, but I hate that he is perpetually the victim of tragic love stories. Right now, Carter is spiraling into a dark depression. The devastating news about Daphne's infertility diagnosis has completely destroyed their relationship. Daphne, unable to cope with the trauma and perhaps feeling inadequate, has walked out and left. Carter is a man who desperately craves a family, a traditional life, and a loyal partner. With Daphne gone, he is left sitting in the ashes of yet another failed romance. He is broken, vulnerable, and reaching for the bottle to numb the agonizing pain of his shattered dreams. So, what happens when you put two incredibly beautiful, profoundly heartbroken people in the same room with a seemingly endless supply of alcohol? Absolute, unadulterated chaos. Steffy, heavily intoxicated and suffocating under the weight of her collapsed marriage, turns to Carter for a shoulder to cry on. And honestly, I don't blame her one bit. Carter is safe. Carter is fiercely loyal. Carter doesn't have a psychotic mother hiding in the bushes? As Steffy pours her heart out, explaining every agonizing detail of the Sheila drama, she tells Carter that all she ever wanted was to be free from the woman trying to destroy her family. She is crying, she is furious, and the alcohol is stripping away every single one of her inhibitions. But here's the surprise. Carter isn't just listening, he is feeling every ounce of her pain because it mirrors his own. Carter is also drunk, drowning his sorrows over Daphne abandoning. As Steffy comforts him over his lost future, the emotional trauma bonding reaches a boiling point. The suspense in this hypothetical scene is just off the charts. They are two lost souls finding solace in the darkest moment of their lives. The gentle comforting turns into lingering touches. The lingering touches ignite a spark of raw, unfiltered passion. Before they even realize the catastrophic consequences of their actions, Steffi and Carter cross the ultimate line. They fall into bed together, desperately seeking comfort, validation, and a temporary escape from their miserable realities. It is a scandalous, intoxicating betrayal, and I am absolutely here for the messy drama it's going to provide. Meanwhile, high up in the sky, Finn is experiencing a massive, albeit delayed, psychological awakening. He finally realizes that his weak, cowardly attempt to manage Sheila on that flight to Monaco was the biggest mistake of his entire life. The panic sets in. He knows that if Steffi finds out he was breathing the same air as Sheila without immediately calling the police, his marriage is instantly vaporized. Finn demands to get off the plane, or the moment it lands, he books the very first commercial flight straight back to Los Angeles. He is racing against the clock. He is sweating, his heart is pounding out of his chest, and he is mentally practicing his grand apology to his wife. He declares to himself that he needs to get to Steffi before it's too late. He wants to save his family. He wants to prove he can be the man she needs. But guess what? He is way, way too late. The universe has a cruel sense of humor on the bold and the beautiful. Picture this incredibly cinematic, suspenseful sequence. Finn frantically pulling up to the Cliff House in a taxi. He runs to the front door, fumbling with his keys. The house is eerily quiet. He calls out Steffi's name, but there is no answer. He walks down the hallway, noticing 2 empty glasses and a half-empty bottle of liquor on the counter. His heart drops into his stomach. He slowly approaches the bedroom door, pushes it open, and is instantly paralyzed by the most horrifying sight imaginable. Finn is completely and utterly shocked as he witnesses his beautiful wife tangled in the sheets with the chief operating officer of Forrester Creations. The sheer devastation that will wash over Finn's face is going to be Emmy award-winning material. His entire world, his entire identity as a devoted husband, crumbles into a million pieces right before his very eyes. And let's get real for a second. Part of me feels a tiny bit of sympathy for Finn, but a much larger part of me is screaming, "You brought this on yourself, buddy." If you invite a monster like Sheila into your life, you are going to push your wife away. Action. Meet consequence. How is Steffi going to react when she gets caught? If you know Steffi Forrester like we at B&B for Phone know her, she is not going to cower in a corner and beg for forgiveness. Oh no. Steffi is a fierce, unapologetic warrior. Once the initial shock wears off, the alcohol-fueled rage is going to take over. She is going to look Finn dead in the eye and scream that he destroyed their vows the moment he let Sheila back in. She will justify her night with Carter by claiming that Finn abandoned her emotionally and physically by prioritizing his psychotic birth mother over his own wife and children. The screaming match that will echo through the Cliff House will be legendary. And what about Carter? This man has a notorious history of sleeping with the boss's wife. Remember the explosive, scandalous affair he had with Quinn Fuller behind Eric Forrester's back? That storyline was absolute gold. And now Carter is doing it again, this time with the co-CEO of the company and the daughter of his best friend, Ridge Forrester. Can you imagine the volcanic eruption that will occur when Ridge finds out his trusted COO slept with his vulnerable daughter? Carter's entire career, his reputation, and his life in Los Angeles will be hanging in the balance. Will Ridge fire him on the spot? Will Carter even care? Or will he realize that his drunken connection with Steffi actually meant something profound? This brings us to the most juicy fan theories and future predictions based on the show's rich history. Whenever a female lead on B&B sleeps with 2 different men in a short time frame, what always happens? A pregnancy storyline. We are practically guaranteed a who's the daddy plot twist. Imagine Steffi discovering she is pregnant a few weeks after this disastrous night. Is the baby Finn's, or is it Carter's? A child with Carter would give him the family he has been desperately weeping over, while simultaneously tying Steffi to him forever. It would be the ultimate poetic justice for Carter, finally getting a baby, but under the most scandalous, messy circumstances possible. The ripple effects of this single night of drunken passion will tear the Forrester, Logan, and Finnegan families apart. It perfectly mirrors the current chaotic energy we are seeing with the younger generation, like RJ and Electra, and the corporate wars happening with Katie and Brooke. Everyone is betraying everyone. Do you think Steffi and Carter actually have the potential to be a long-term power couple? Or was this just a desperate trauma response that they will both deeply regret? And honestly, does Finn deserve to lose his wife after continuously failing to protect her from Sheila? I want to know exactly what you guys are thinking, so make sure you sound off in the comments below. We at B&B for Phone will be watching every single episode like hawks, ready to bring you the deepest analysis and the hottest takes. Until next time, stay bold,
What do you guys think about today's drama? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe for your daily dose of bold and beautiful news. See you in the next video.